Um, I am going to go through this little pamphlet. It's called "Who's Afraid of Braille Music?" Um, a short introduction and resource handbook for parents and students. By Richard Tisch and William McCann. I had mentioned this in another, I think at least two different videos when I was doing book reviews. Um, but I thought I should really go through that little pamphlet thing. So here I'm gonna go through that little pamphlet thing. This is available online for free PDF printable file on demand, which is what PDF means if you're kind of curious what that means. Print file on demand. Um, yeah, just go into like your browser and just type in "Who's Afraid of Braille" and it most likely will show up. But "Who's Afraid of Braille Music?" Um, it's available. You could also purchase, I believe. You could purchase the book. Let me actually check on the website, see if it's legitimately there. Okay, so I am on the Dancing Dots website, and if you go under, let's see, this is under products tab that I'm on, products and services. Let's see. Okay, here under Braille instruction and repertoire, it is the second group of links. There's a whole bunch of titles here. An introduction to music for the blind student, a course in Braille music reading, part 3, teacher's edition. I mean, they've got all these books here. It's the fourth link down. It says, "Who's Afraid of Braille Music?" There, I just touched it. Yeah, so it is here. There somewhere. Okay, "Who's Afraid of Braille Music?" They do have a Braille version, and you can purchase it for $19.95. They also have a print version for $19.95. So this is good to know. This book is available for purchase in Braille. So that is awesome. And the little excerpt here says, "Are you a teacher or parent of a blind student who has an interest or need to learn to read Braille music? Want to help but feel a bit anxious or unprepared what to do? Are you yourself a blind musician who wants to know more about music books in Braille? Oh, how music looks in Braille. Have people warned you that it's so hard? Then Who's Afraid of Braille Music is for you. Find out how sensible Lewis Braille's system of music really is. Learn to read, write, play, and sing music in Braille, even for people who have tried to tell you that you're on the singing impaired." One of the singing impaired. And then there's forward printed out there or listed out there. So this book is available for purchase. And right there's the I love this cover. It's so cool. It's kind of like, whoa. Yeah, it is cool. Okay, so this is available on Dancing Dots, and it's relatively inexpensive, so I'll probably just purchase the Braille and the print copy. That way the teacher has a copy and the student has a copy. Okay, so back to the article, or the book thing that we're looking at. Okay, so, and as I did say, this is available for PDF download, so you could just type into Google the information, like who's afraid of Braille music or whatever search engine you want to use. I just use Google because it's there, it's everywhere. It's kind of scary. Okay, so how this is gonna work? I'm going to go through. I'm gonna read through the forward. The forward isn't too bad, but for each of these lessons, I'm gonna post an individual lesson or a individual talk stroke review stroke walkthrough of each of these lessons. Otherwise this video would take a really, really long time. But so first, I'm gonna do like this introductory stuff, post that, and then I'm gonna do chapter 1, lesson 1, chapter 1, lesson 2, chapter 1, lesson 3. That way it'll be a little bit more concise, and hopefully the videos won't be too long because I kind of rant. Okay, so the contents doesn't really give you much information about what is in each lesson. And also I would like to include why some of the stuff that is in why some of the things are in here, why they are in here. Like there's stuff in here about, well, why are we using a piano keyboard? Why do we have to know where do is? Why don't we just use letters like C, D, E, F, G, like all the other students in music? Why do we have to use this solfege stuff? Very, very important reasons why some of that stuff is going on, and that's what I'm gonna talk about, because it's not really emphasized, but it is emphasized, but not really a whole lot. But it is really, really important. Okay, so there is this really awesome quote here. A great teacher never strives to explain his vision. He simply invites you to stand beside him and see for yourself. That is a Reverend R. Inman. And I have had a few teachers like this. They, one of them in particular was like an algebra teacher at a technical school. I was having a hard time in her class. She could see it. I was just really, really frustrated. And so she comes over to my desk or table or whatever. And she says, she kneels down and she says, "Look, I know you can do this, and I know you can do this. The traditional classroom is not working for you. We just have to figure out how we're going to get you through this course, and pass it." At the point I think I was failing with like a D or an F or something like that. It was really low grade. So then she had known that I was a pianist because I played at a church across the street, which is kind of funny. But yeah, so I'd indicated on that little welcome card that you get that, yeah, I play piano. So she understood, okay, she needs to use large arm movements, because when you play piano, you have, large arm movements sometimes. And so she caught on to that, and she says, okay, I'm going to take you out of the class and I'm going to teach you one-on-one during my office hours. And we're going to meet in this room, and I'm going to have you at the chalkboard, and you write I'm going to tell you what to write out, how to set up the problems, because this is algebra. And then I'm going to walk you through how to do the different operations and stuff. And while you're writing stuff down on the board, I will copy everything out as you wrote it. And then when you do your homework, you can look at your notes and clearly remember what you wrote on the board, which is exactly true. when I looked at her notes, it's like, yeah, I remember making that big strike between those numbers to show cross cancellation in fractions and stuff. Um, I mean, she didn't question what I was writing. She just copied everything that I was writing out on the board. And by the end of the course, we were doing, logarithms, and I mean, I couldn't do that stuff now, but she took the time and she saw the opportunity of how can I help this struggling student succeed in arithmetic or in algebra. Um, I'm not the greatest mathematician by any means, but she gave me that understanding, that desire to want to show up for class. And it's not because, oh, I love algebra so much, but it's that she started to help me understand what it was that I was doing. If a student is learning something and they don't understand what they're doing, you might as well just quit. Stop right there. Because a student is not going to get very far if they do not understand, if they don't understand the mechanisms of what is going on. I mean, it don't matter what field or what subject it is. The student has to make a connection with the material. Otherwise, they're not going to get it. And this is really especially true for students who are blind and visually impaired. And it's really sad because a lot of what we would say unorthodox methods, like this method where the teacher had me standing at the chalkboard writing out, I mean, I could write out anything as large as I needed, and I had that space that I could do that. It gave me that freedom of not feeling so confined, if that makes sense. So a lot of these unorthodox methods of teaching are not used in traditional classrooms. And a lot of times for vision and low vision, blind and low vision students, they need outside personal one-on-one time with the teacher, preferably before the class lesson, so that they get an understanding of what's about to be taught in the class. And sometimes the student can then ask questions and kind of get an understanding of what's going on, like logarithms. Okay, how is this done in general? So, yeah, manipulation, one-on-one teaching, doing hands-on stuff like that is really, really beneficial for blind students and visually impaired students to succeed and to know that they actually understand it. When they come to class with a bright smile on their face and with that little twinkle in their eye, you know that you have them hooked on whatever it is that you're looking at or that you're teaching them. If they come to class and they don't care about what you're teaching them, something needs to change. Otherwise, they're going to go through class and they're going to resent that class for probably the rest of their lives. I, for the longest time, hated mathematics because I didn't have that connection. But now that I have that connection, even it was later, even though it was later in life and stuff like that, I have a better appreciation for mathematicians and the field of mathematics and stuff, because I actually had that understanding of what it meant at one point. Okay, so that is that whole thing. And the same with music. Students will need to learn musical concepts first orally before they are taught in Braille music. And we'll talk more about that later. Okay, so on to the foreword. After the foreword, yeah, we go into chapter 1. So I'll read through the foreword, make a couple comments, and then the next video I should say in this series or whatever, is gonna be the whatchamacallit. It's gonna be for chapter 1, lesson 1. But first, the foreword. The purpose of this little book is to dispel ill-conceived notions that have discouraged students from learning to read Braille music, or have caused teachers to think music reading is only for their sighted students. Like their sighted peers, I think is what he's saying. We will give you a starting point for exploration, and we will have some fun too. Try the few sample lessons or the few simple lessons that follow and complete the assignments that we have provided. Watch how doors to new musical freedom and independence begin to open. And that is Richard Taish and William McCann. Richard Taish, again, he's I think he's the chair of the Braille Music Division at the Southern California Conservatory of Music. And William McCann, also, I guess Williams are called Bill. I knew another William, but everyone called him Bill. So I don't know. I don't know. But William McCann, he's the founder and president of Dancing Dots Braille Music Technology, www.dancingdots.com. So that is written by them. And being told, well, you can't do that or whatnot, to a blind person is really, really frustrating, especially when it's something that they really want to do or that they're really, really good at. So the next section in this series is going to be chapter 1, and we will look at that later. Until then, have a good day, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.